Welcome to our podcast, Big Tobacco Messed with the Wrong Moms. I'm Dorian Furman.
I'm Meredith Berkman, and we're the Wrong Moms. We are so happy to have with us as our guest today, Duncan Van Dusen, CEO and founder of the Catch Global Foundation. One of their many important programs is the Catch My Breath Youth Vaping program that has reached over 1 million kids in about 3,000 schools. As parents, we really want to understand what is the best and the most effective way to educate kids about the dangers of vaping.
Big Tobacco spends $25 million per day marketing their products. And a lot of that money goes to making the products look cool. And they may say they're not marketing to youth. They've been convicted of marketing to youth, but we'll leave that aside. The point is, whoever their target is, they're making the products appear to be cool. So parents need to realize, first of all, you're fighting a $25 million a day budget. And the second thing it's important for parents to remember is, even though, of course, we were all cool at one point and we're all cool with our own friends, we're not cool with our teens. We just have to accept that. We can do our best, but
You just broke our hearts.
yeah, I know. Reality hurts. Listen, I have two teenagers too, so I've been in the process of denial for a long time too. But we're not going to just make health cool. Or make vaping uncool against $25 million a day and the fact that we're adults. So we have to think very, very creatively about how we're going to get the message across. Now, here's the good news. We have health on our side. People ask me all the time, well, what should I say to my kids about vaping? And what I tell them is, it's not about what you say, it's about what you ask. So first of all, like I said, parents should kind of do their research and make sure that they've got some facts. But then when they set up the conversation with the kids, it's not, okay, everybody, I've really been wanting to talk to you about this. Let's all sit down at the dinner table. And then, you may have heard about this thing called e-cigarettes. That's when kids start rolling their eyes. You have to know your kids and pick a time when the kids are maybe a little more off guard, and you can, and for me, it's when I'm driving them to school. We have about a 20-minute commute, and that was always the time. It was just me. My wife, usually wasn't there because she always picked them up. And that was when I could get the kids talking. And I'd ask them things like, well, what's in e-cigarettes? And are they popular at school? And one of the things that we found is, kids are never going to tell you bad things about their friends, but they will tell you bad things about their enemies. So instead of saying, are your friends doing it? You can ask if it comes up, let's say the popular crowds being a real pain or whatever, are those guys vaping? So you can sometimes get a lot more information about what's going on through questions and through, indirection and saying things like, oh, yeah, that sounds dangerous, or, oh, it's just too bad about so-and-so that he really blew his chance to be, captain of the soccer team by, so there's sometimes are ways to make your thoughts known and understand what your kids' thoughts are without lapsing into kind of lecturing. Another thing that's really, really important for parents to understand is the kind of previewing with kids and rehearsing. What are you going to say? Because with kids, it's really important to remember, it's not if they're going to be asked whether they want to try vaping, it's when. It's going to happen. And so, and this is obviously best if you're talking with middle schoolers. High schoolers, the further you get, the more likely it is that they've already, been asked. But it's still good to rehearse, what do you say? Like, what do kids, or even, again, being indirect, what do kids who don't vape, like, what do they say when someone offers it? And, I ask my kids, my own kids, these questions, and it's really interesting. Oh, well, people say the coach is going to kick them off the team, or people say my parents are doing drug testing, or people say, it's usually, a lot of times it's, in one way or another, blaming it on an authority figure. Some of the kids are a little more comfortable saying, it's not for me, so, that type of thing. But the important thing is, you don't want your kid making up their answer in the heat of the moment. You want them to have thought through what's the plan. So those are some of the things that we really, suggest for parents' interaction with their kids.
What if we think our kids' schools aren't doing enough to teach them about the dangers of flavored e-cigarettes and vaping? How can parents have an influence in getting their schools, their school districts, their teachers to teach more on this topic to our kids?
When we talk about parents' interaction with schools, first and foremost, it's important for all parents to know, and I think they probably most all already do, there's real strength in numbers. So it is much better off getting together a group of parents that is at least somewhat like-minded in terms of the school having a responsibility, and asking for a parent night, asking for a meeting, asking for an informational session. If there is an informational session, showing up in large numbers. And there's a couple things that we really say that parents should advocate for with schools. One is vaping prevention needs to be for all kids. And the Catch My Breath program that you mentioned, our program is designed for all kids from 5th grade to 12th grade. And we commonly get schools who say things like, oh, well, we want to use this for the kids who get caught. And whether you look at that as a form of discipline or a form of punishment or a form of remediation, it's not the way to go. Because first of all, you're doing the kids a big disservice. If they had had the program before they tried it, maybe they wouldn't have tried vaping in the first place, and then they wouldn't have gotten caught. And second of all, if you use health education as punishment, then what does that say about health education? Right? Like you've done something wrong, so you have to have this. That's not putting health education in the right light. So that's not conducive to helping kids, form the right attitudes and beliefs about health behaviors. Another mistake that we see, schools making that we really encourage parents to advocate against is, schools sometimes have strict ideas about, oh, well, we do health education in, let's say, 6th grade and 9th grade. And I've been to parent assemblies where the school will proudly say, we're starting Catch My Breath next year in 6th grade, which is great. But then the parent raises their hand and says, well, my kid's in 7th grade this year and 8th grade next year, so what do they get? Even when schools do realize they need to do vaping education, they're not doing it for everybody. They're sticking it into wherever they think health should be taught. And if you missed it your year, it's too late. And that's just shameful. That's ridiculous. Schools have got to give everybody a dose of education if they didn't already get it. And then you can start going to, okay, now everyone gets it in 9th grade. But you can't ignore your current population. So we really strongly recommend that parents make those expectations clear.
Duncan, thank you so much for your time today. This is such important and really interesting information. And I think every parent should listen to this, and they should check out your website. They should check out our website and, just inform themselves, as you said, and really know what they should be talking to their kids about. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast, Big Tobacco Messed with the Wrong Moms. We need passionate parents to join our grassroots movement across the country to protect our kids from the predatory behavior of big tobacco.
If you're a parent and you want to get involved, please check out our website at parentsagainstVaping.org or email us directly at info@parentsagainstVaping.org. Parents' voices matter, and you can make a difference.
Do you have a teen or young adult at home that vapes? This is Quitting is a free and anonymous text message program designed to help young people quit vaping. Teens and young adults can text DITCH VAPE to 88709 to sign up today. That's provided by Truth, the National Youth Tobacco Prevention Campaign, from our partner and sponsor, the Truth Initiative. It's the first of its kind program that helps young people feel motivated, inspired, and supported while quitting. More than 150,000 young people have enrolled since the program launched in January 2019.
The messages include evidence-based tips and strategies to quit,
combined with real feedback from young people. Again, teens and young adults can enroll by texting Ditch Vape to 88709. Truth Initiative also offers free text messages for parents who are helping their children quit vaping. I myself enrolled in this program as well and would get different ideas and tips to help support my son. You can join the program by texting QUIT to 202-899-7550 or by visiting becomeanx.org to sign up.
To learn more about Truth Initiative and its programs, visit truthinitiative.org.